Another day, another cold start. Hi, I'm Chad, and welcome to another Motovlog aboard my 2017 Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 factory. Now today's video is going to be another episode of Story Time. In this episode, we're going to talk about why my mom didn't want me to get a motorcycle when I lived at home, and how I did anyways. So if you checked out my last Story Time video, which I'll throw a card up here in the top right corner if you have not, you will know that I got into motorcycles through cars. I loved cars. I was a car guy before I was a motorcycle guy, and once I realized just how much more incredible and closer to race machines motorcycles were, I took an interest in them. And in that story, we arrived at a point where I talked about how my parents reacted when I proposed riding a motorcycle to them when I was in college and I was broke, and it would have been a lot easier to figure out how to afford to get to school if I got 70 miles to the gallon on a Ninja 250. Anyways, I'll back it up just a little bit here. So when my mom was a child or a young adult, I'm not exactly sure when, one of her mother's close friends passed away in a motorcycle accident. He collided head-on with a tree and was not wearing any kind of safety gear whatsoever. So naturally, my mom's experience with motorcycles, really her only experience with motorcycles, being that she has never once in her life ridden on one, is death. So naturally, if her son, who she loves dearly, were to propose to her that he begin riding motorcycles, the only thing she can think of is death, die, accident, crash, end of life, bad. So she was pretty upset when I brought up riding a motorcycle for the first time. I was about 18 years old too, and to be totally honest, I think I might have been okay on a Ninja 250, but any more bike than that would have been problematic. Pretty sure that was a cop I just waved at, and he waved back! What a homie. Naturally, being 18 years old, when the prospect came to me to try riding a motorcycle, I only saw the positives. I was like, way more fun, way more economical, way cooler. I wasn't really thinking about the risks, of course, being 18 years old, but naturally, my mother was. Because she's a great lady and she loves me dearly and would be oh so sad if anything bad were to happen to me. And I have put that woman through a lot of stress crashing motorcycles over the 8 years I've been riding. But anyways, I dropped it after that. That one conversation at the kitchen table in the fall of 2011, I dropped it. I didn't bring it back up again for a couple years, but I did slowly kind of push on it little by little, with comments like, oh, as soon as I grow up and get out of the house, I'm gonna get a motorcycle. Then in 2013 I took the MSF course, and she wasn't very happy with that, but I signed up, I paid for it, so it was what it was. Look at the birds. Wow. The canyon, the nature in the winter. Then of course, when I took the MSF course, I bought my own helmet because I didn't want to be wearing an old, many time used sweaty helmet with who knows how many other people sweating it. Then little by little, I just pieced gear together. I got a jacket, got gloves, got riding shoes, riding jeans, a back protector, not all my gear. And I finally just kind of came to the T where I was like, you know what, I just got to do this. I was going to community college, studying business, doing what my parents wanted me to do. I had a part-time job. I could just afford to buy my first motorcycle. So I was like, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I give myself a little bit of that gratification that I've been working so hard for? I was also very depressed and unhappy with where my life was at that point too, just from a personal relationship standpoint, and from a where I was in life standpoint, what I was doing. I'm not a school person. I really didn't enjoy going to school. So I was just looking for that one little thing that I could hold on to that would just make me feel like me again. And it happened to be motorcycles. And I eventually had a conversation with my mom about that and explained it to her, and she was not happy about it. But I think she finally got it. And while she never explicitly said that she wasn't going to kick me out of the house if I brought one home, which was exactly what she told me the first time I brought it up at 18 years old, I had a pretty good feeling I could get away with it. So I started going out, looking at bikes, trying to figure out what I could afford. I was going to finance it because while I did have a part-time job, I didn't make a lot of money and I didn't have a lot of money saved up, just a couple $1,000s, which wasn't really going to get me what I wanted, which at that point was a 600cc super sport bike. Nevertheless, I persevered. I talked to a lot of people and ended up working out a deal with the seller of my 2003 Honda CBR 600R, Sally as I affectionately called her, and was able to ride home on a bike. And I did keep my mom privy. I didn't tell her at first when I started shopping for motorcycles. I was actually going to bring one home and just see how she reacted to it. And in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't do that. I looked at 2 or 3 bikes and eventually I did fess up and I did tell her what I was doing, and she was not happy at all. And she refused to help me get a loan by co-signing, and she forbid my dad from doing it. But after a few weeks, I worked it out on my own, was on my CBR 600RR, and started my bike life. And man, do I love it. For sure, one of the best decisions I've ever made. Oh, that one floated for a second. So I got on the gas after it came off the ground. But anyways, that's the story. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and this story, I'd appreciate it if you gave me a gentle little click of the like button and considered subscribing for future motorcycling content. I make videos like this every week on my Tuono V4 factory and my WR250X Yamaha Supermoto, and usually on a monthly basis on my Triumph Daytona 675R track/raceboat. And drop a comment down below. What did your parents think when you first told them that you wanted to ride motorcycles? Were they supportive, or were they scared like mine? Let me know down below. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I will hope to catch you in the next one. Until then, later.